Hi, welcome to the first episode of Beav-Art Talks. Today I've got Barrie J Davies with me.
Hello.
And let's kick things off with Barrie, for the benefit of the people who will be listening and watching this.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your background and your
Who
art?
am I? I'm Barrie Davies. I'm based in Brighton. I describe my work as pop, surreal street art with a comedic twist. So it's kind of mixture of painting, printmaking, little bit of drawing, and I've been an artist for the last, I'd say probably for the last 26 years, 25 to 6 years, long time. Used to live in Cardiff, moved to Brighton nearly 9 years ago now, and I've done a lot of stuff, a lot of exhibitions, and sold a lot of prints and a lot of artwork.
What's your favourite exhibition to date? What's the best one you've done?
Best one I've done? That's a difficult one. I don't know. I did a show in Darlington a few years ago, and I did these huge big canvases, which are about like a metre square. And yeah, that was a good show. It was like called the Greatest Hits. So I always thought of it like an album. I'm going to do the greatest hits of paintings. So I used to do these cosmic moggy paintings. So there were some of those in it, smaller paintings, and then there was a mixture of, how do I describe it? The deep, like the deep end canvases.
Yeah. I
did those, and they were about 90 by 60. This is centimeters for the Americans up there. And I did. There was a whole row of those. That was a good show. I didn't sell anything, but it was nice to take the work out of like Brighton, out of the area, and I really enjoyed that show. It was good fun.
How long did it go on for?
It was on for about a month or 6 weeks.
That's pretty good.
So it was in Darlington. They've got a library, and part of the library there was a huge, big white square space. It's brilliant. It was really good. I enjoyed that. But then I've had like group shows in lots and lots of different places. But yeah, when I think about it, that was a good one.
Is it one of those sort of places you have to pay to hire, or is it just
No, it was a free space.
Oh, nice.
So weirdly, I approached them. So I'd been popped in there with my other half out of there, and then I was like, I want to do a show here. And she was like, really? And I said, yeah, I want to do a show here. So I contacted the curator, and they were like, oh, we got a slot. I can't remember when it was, and this was like 22. No, it was before COVID, I think. It was before COVID. It was before 2019, something like that. And they contacted the curator, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to have this. This is totally up. Nothing like I've got shown before. Most of it is quite sort of traditional. I've got a friend called Gordon Dalton, who's an artist. He lives up north now. So he'd been in a group show with some other people in the same space, and I thought, this would be fun if I need to do a show here. So yeah, and everything was brought up in the car, parked the car on the side of the road, loaded it all in, and I had like 2 technicians, which I thought was cool. And they did everything for me.
You said about the cosmic moggies. Now I know, because of knowing you for many years now, that they're quite a popular piece of yours. Are they still going strong, or are you still creating cosmic moggies, or are you just kind of backburning them at the moment?
So I started the cosmic moggy paintings back in Cardiff before we moved, and I'd found this image of a cat, and I was like, I'm going to paint some of these, and I really didn't take it seriously. So it was just let's have as much fun as we can, but it was the same image of a cat repeated. So if you think of like Warhol silkscreen printing stuff, so I thought, right, I'm gonna literally, I'm just gonna repeat the same painting. So I posted a few on Instagram, and then all of a sudden it all kind of blew up, and everybody wanted one. So I did them in different colours, same sort of motif. So I just repeated the same. It was based off a drawing, so I did the same over and over and over again.
Right.
I must have done about 30, 40 of these paintings.
Oh, wow.
So the canvases I used to buy were 50 by 60. 50 by 60. They were the thinner sort of canvases. And I'd buy those. They were quite cheap canvases. I'd buy those. I'd buy a stack of them. I'd go into the shop to buy like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? I had loads of them stacked up everywhere. And I just painted one after the other after another. I didn't take it seriously. I kind of considered it a bit like a joke. So I wasn't trying to, there was no real meaning behind the cat painting. And it was just the idea of like, I want a subject matter. I don't want to paint something, and I wanted something that was quite poppy and quite fun and colourful. So I just repeated it, but I haven't painted any more since. You know, when you paint something, you just kind of burn yourself out. You just think, oh no, I can't do any more of those again. But they were really popular, and I remember the first ones I sold. I think I sold them for like 40, 50 quid each, and then the last one I sold went for 450 quid.
Oh wow!
So, and I sold that to a woman in. I think it was Saatchi Art. I think I sold it to a woman in California.
Nice.
And it got there as well.
Your art can be completely off the wall sometimes. How on earth do you know when you've finished? You know, when you've got to a part where you think, right, that's it, that's enough.
With the screen prints, I know what I'm doing. So I've got a system on the stencil, and then it's screen printed in a certain way. And then with the paintings, it varies, because some of the paintings I've done in the past were like, they were like a bit like collage jigsaw puzzles.
Yeah.
So made out of lots of different images. And as time's gone along, I think it was because I was showing at Art 5, I focused on one image. I remember one of the gallery directors there, she said, people like it when there's one thing in the picture. Okay. So now I don't have like these crazy, I've still got all those paintings, but they're much more simpler than they before. So with those, with the more, how do I describe it, collage and effect paintings, it was like, can I fit something else in that space? So there was always a space in the canvas. So I was like, I'll paint something in that, I'll paint something. And then I knew when it was finished because I'd filled the space. And now it's like, if I do a painting now, it's one image and there's one narrative and one story, and maybe some text in it, which is quite funny or something like that. So I know when it's finished. Whereas those paintings was a bit like adding more and more and more and more, but it was a maximalist kind of aesthetic that I was playing with. So,
do you ever follow like the Fibonacci sequence of the
golden
section? Yeah. Just to find that pull to a
no, I never did that.
Adds a narrative to the picture to get the the viewer's attention. Draw you in.
I always had something in the middle, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I would go around the edge, filling in different. So I used to collect loads of different images off the computer, maybe, and then each one would be drawn in individually. Yeah. I did that. So that I did. Yeah, there was a lot of, but these were on like big meter square canvases. So the smaller ones, it was harder to do, and I usually find, so I don't do things like that. With some of the screen prints now that I've done, there was a series I gave to Jules, and they're made out of all the different prints.
That's Jules Emporium in Brighton on New Road.
Yep. Good.
Right in the centre of Brighton, a really good gallery type shop. Store, yeah. With everything's bespoke. Yeah. And all artist stuff. Really incredible shop to go to.
Creatives work. Yeah, got stuff in there. Yep.
Yeah. What's the most random commission you've ever been asked to do? I mean, I've been asked in the past. The weirdest one I've ever been asked is to paint 2 pre-Raphaelite angels on a toilet.
Wow. Oh, I did.
Crazy.
I do remember there was a guy who used to cut my hair in Cardiff. I had short hair, and he wanted this Greek scene. It's not my sort of vibe. I always remember he gave me the book, and it was just like, there's like arches or something like that, the Roman ruins or something.
Oh yeah.
So he said to me, "Can you paint something like that?" And I remember painting it, and I was like, "Okay, let's finish now." And he was like, "Oh, can you do a bit more to it? Or can you touch a bit more to it?" And I remember going, "Okay, I'll do a bit more to it." "Oh, can you add a bit more to it?" I was like, "Okay." And in the end, I was like, "I'll varnish it. I'll stop. I can't add any more."
Good idea, yeah.
So that was an acrylic on canvas. There was a guy who used to cut my hair, and it was on hairdressers on Clifton Street in Cardiff, for you Cardiff or Swell people. That was the weirdest one. Yeah, I've done that.
It's hard when people do that because it should be arranged and agreed at the beginning, and they can't keep adding stuff. I know people like.
Oh, I've had that happen.
It's annoying, isn't it? Because you've arranged or agreed a price. It's got to be. Because then the more time you add into it, the more it's going to be costing you, and then it's more out of pocket then, isn't it?
I think that's when I started doing any commissions, and then I did one other commission. This guy asked me to paint a horse, and he paid a deposit, and then he didn't like the painting, and he did a weird thing. He ran off with the painting.
What?
Oh, I told you about that one. Haven't I?
No.
So the guy he ran off. So I used to live in this studio flat in Cardiff, and he gave me a deposit. So I went to see this horse, photographed it, went back, did the painting of it, and he was like, "Oh, it didn't look right." And then I was like, "Well, you still got to pay me for it." And he did a runner with the painting. I'll never forget that. It was.
But he'd obviously commissioned you after seeing your work.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I showed him stuff, but yeah, that was strange. After that, I was like, no more commissions. I was like, no.
I don't blame you.
No.
That's really bad.
Okay.
So what artists inspire you?
Oh, at the moment.
Alive or dead, obviously.
There's always the favourites. I mean, I still love Warhol, and I still love Basquiat, and I still Keith Haring. So that's kind of the given. But then, I like there's so many different ones. I don't know, just
you can see Warhol and Basquiat in your work. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I still love Dave Shrigley. He's cool. There's a few. One artist, I can't remember his name. He's on Instagram as Pulp Brother, but he's amazing.
Okay.
He does these small paintings, and he uploads one every day on his Instagram, and they're quite satirical, quite funny. And then he paints on bits of wood, little small paintings like that. And I really like what he does because each painting is its own kind of narrative and its own storytelling. And he'll paint all different types of subject matter, but there's some I find there's a bit of irony and humour in some of them. I really like his work, but it's just the idea that you start with a blank canvas. It's like, I'm going to paint something funny today, or and there's something about his work I really like. Yeah, there's a lot of street artists and pop artists I like. So there's a lot around here that I really like and respect. Yeah, but I do like stuff that's quite funny. And I mean, there's one artist who lives in New York, John Bergman. I like his work. It's quite childlike, quite playful. Yeah, there's too many. That's stuff.
Who would be your dream collab to work with? If you could work with any artist, again, live or dead, who would be your dream?
I remember that I've got the book at home, so there's the Warhol and Basquiat collaboration paintings.
Okay.
So to do something like that, and when they did the collaborations, they had Francisco Clemente and a few other artists. So doing something like that would be quite fun. I don't know. But then I went to see last year the Damien Hirst Gallery. So there's Shepard Fairey, Obey.
Awake in my bed, a scene from my head, far from where my body rides. What peace can I find?
Okay, so what is your creative process?
Creative process is it's changed a little bit recently. So a lot of making notes in my phone, to doodling in sketchbooks, to hunting for images, there's a lot more research going on into things now than it used to be. Whereas before I would just find an image and go, I'm going to paint that and put it together. So now, because there's a lot more humour in my work, there's got to be some kind of narrative, so I sketch things out. But then it can be the other way around. I can go looking for images off the internet. So I'm using a lot of royalty-free imagery now, rather than sort of copyright possible images. I don't know. So and then that's on my phone, and then I take it to the studio, and then we're working out that way. And that's for paintings. And then for prints, it's the total opposite. I will find images, play around with them on the computer till I get them right. Then the image gets sent off to this guy called Robin, who makes my screens for me. And then the screen comes back, and then it becomes more hands-on because it's in the studio. And I try to stay away from computers as much as possible. So, and then it gets screen printed. So a stencil gets cut, maybe it gets layered up. There's lots of different processes within screen printing.
You know when you do your more famously known pieces where you use somebody like Marge Simpson, or like in the collaboration we did with Kinky Kong.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at what's become available on the public domain, or does that not influence what you're doing?
It is now. I'm going more into the public domain imagery rather than anything that's, more like Marge Simpson or Bart Simpson or anything, or characters like that. I do actually like go looking for images now.
Oh,
so
right.
It's changed. It's gone more into where can I find really obscure, weird, old vintage cartoon, like really old stuff.
Betty Boop's coming available soon.
Yeah.
I think this year or next year.
Oh.
And there's something unusual about that cartoon.
Yeah, I've done painted Betty Boop in the past.
Have you?
Yeah, but I've kind of mixed it up as well. So it's, even if I find an image, I'll play around with it and transform it. So I've done that. But yeah, so the process used to be find an image, project it up, draw it in, paint it over, layer it up, and then I used to varnish on my paints. I don't varnish them anymore. So I used to collage all the canvases first, and then I used to paint over the collage. That's really, and some of the colours would come through because I use neon colours in my paintings, so you get this translucency. I don't do that anymore. I do it completely the other way around.
Yeah.
The canvases maybe get spray painted with a fade or a base colour, and then it paints straight on that. I don't even varnish them anymore. I used to.
Yeah, there was some sort of nice texture to how you used to do it on the big canvases as well.
Yeah. But now they're much simpler and like, I don't know. But the imagery is this maybe the starting point, and the collaging would be like newspaper and any kind of paper stuff and then kind of layer it up. So, and then like I may paint over other bits as well, and then collage other things on. So it's a bit quite. Still like the wall, like what a wall would look like if people tagged on it, pasted over it, all that kind of thing. It's less like that.
A distressed wall because of over years of different types of stuff happening.
I kind of moved away from that. It's more clean and more graphic-y. So there was a lot more drips and splats and things like that in the old paintings. In the new paintings, it's not like that. But then, when I screen print, I layer it over with other screen prints. If I do a print on paper, it doesn't come out very well. I might paint over it and then I screen print over again. You can get more different effects with screen printing than just painting. That's what I would say.
What's the most unexpected place you've ever found inspiration for a piece of art that you're working on?
I was recently. There was the Silver Spear Market, which is at Preston Park. They did run last summer.
Right.
And there was a woman there, and she sold these vintage French like paper magazines from like in the 1960s. And I was like, oh my God, they're amazing. And she was selling for like £3-4 quid each. I bought as many as I could afford at the time. They were really inspiring because they were like, I want to screen print on top of those. And what I've done recently, I've gone through all a pile of them and chopped them all up so they're nice and flat. And so like that was really cool because I want to create something different or something new, which is, as you
and a lot of fun as well, because I know that one of your ethoses is it's got to be fun.
It's got to be fun. It's got to be colourful. It's got to be playful. It's got to be humorous and don't take yourself too seriously. But I found these comic books, these cards, and I'm like, where can I find more of this type of stuff to work with? So, but it's always been as fun as possible. But they always say, I don't know, you can get bored of, don't get bored of what you're doing, just evolve it, just bring something else in, or take something away. That's what I think,
I found that's what I've got into at the moment. I'm kind of stuck in this kind of similar process that I do, and I'm kind of bored of that process at the moment.
Yeah.
I want to mix it up a bit, so I'm gonna, going forward this year, I'm going to try something different as well.
Yeah.
But have you got any exhibitions coming up at the moment or anything?
Right, so 2026, open houses, a Flamingo House, that's coming up. June is Brighton Rocks.
Oh, nice.
So I'm doing that. I haven't got a title for the show yet, but the ethos behind the show is everything in the show has to be screen printed.
Right.
So I've done exhibitions where it's purely paintings, and I want to push the screen printing process more. So that's going to be screen printing on MDF. Well, they're going to be cutouts.
Oh, nice.
So I've done that. Bought a jigsaw for that. So and screen printing on other materials, other different types of paper, and finding the comic book stuff.
Ah, really good idea.
So screen printing is where it's kind of heading off. I'm not saying I won't paint anymore. I like my paintings, but screen print is a much faster, quicker process. And if they don't work, you can always get a guillotine and chop them up and make them smaller. Also, I've never really got involved in framing anything. So I've been buying frames, hand finishing the frames as well. And then the different prints will sit in the frames. So they'll be like the frame and the painting, they'll become part of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never done that before. So so that's a couple of things. And then whatever else happens, I don't know.
I mean, I'll put all the links in to Barrie's website, and he's on everything. I'll put everything on there. So, is it easy just to go to your website or Instagram or?
On my website, at the bottom of the website, is all like links to different things that I'm on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I upload everything on Instagram as well. So I think everybody's using.
And you're prolific on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so I've been doing YouTube and doing the podcast as well. So I'd say a lot of stuff's going on Instagram. So, but and even on LinkedIn as well. Well,
Nice. Do you have a favourite piece?
What have I done that I really liked? Recently, I like it. I've done this Karma Crop print. So there's like...
Oh, I've seen that,
there's like a buddy with a policeman's helmet on. I really like that. It still makes me laugh. So that's kind of new print.
Quite like the toilet with the guy in a suit as well.
Yeah, Mr. John.
Mr. John, yeah, that's a good one.
So he's based on my first job when I worked down here, I worked for financial advisors.
Right.
So I kind of saw this Mr. John character, which I actually doodled on a bit of paper, and I thought I'll make that one day into something. So yeah, I quite like that. But I'm trying as hard as I can to do more original ideas than push that thing. Right, I think I find in like street art, pop art world, a lot of motifs get recycled and recycled and recycled by the same artist over and over again, to the point where I've seen that idea being replicated by so many different types of people, and I'm going, right, well, what if you did something different and also bring humour in? There's not much humour in pop art. I think pop art can be quite humorless, so I'm trying to bring sort of humour, pop art, street art. I suppose there's more humour in street art, but trying to bring more humour into it and silliness, and that's what I'm trying to do at the moment.
Do they start off with a concept, or are they just experimental as you go along?
Sometimes, I see an image and I go, oh, I know what to do with that. I know how to change that. Or I'll say, or a piece of, I write things on my phone. I've got the notebook on the iPhone is amazing. So I've got loads of notes. Yeah,
I'm the same. Without it, I'd be lost with the...
So I make all these notes, and they can be one-liners, jokes, anything, and I go, I'm going to try and do something with that. Some of them are impossible, they'll never work. And it's just sketching things up from that, or you see an image and then something gets sketched up from that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just keep myself amused. If it makes me laugh, it keeps me amused, and that's and I've got to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's at the end of the day.
And you can't miss your stuff. I remember doing an exhibition with you year before last, Christmas time, and then at the fishing quarter.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, there's a whole wall. You just see this kind of luminescent wall of colour, and the way you display your stuff, you can't help but look at it and go, which one's my favourite?
Yeah.
It's just it's something draws you in, and you have, like, I don't know why, but I always do. Whenever I look, I'm like, which one would I want to take home?
It's a bit like, there was a bit of visual noise to it as well.
Yeah, but you are just drawn to it,
Yeah.
and you can see it from even outside the gallery. It's like, something's going on there. Let's go and have a look at that.
So the idea with that is, I tried to do this. So there's the Mission School, which is in San Francisco, and a lot of where they displayed their images. So there's one artist I really like called Barrie McGee, and he'll have different pictures layered up next to each other pictures, all kind of jostling for attention, and it'll fit. And you try. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. So I kind of wanted to create something like that.
Right.
So it's based on the Mission School kind of way of working, even though and then what happens if you stick them all next to each other rather than just doing them in some kind of uniform sort of way? Because that last time I showed in that space, I showed my studio, and my paintings I did were like boom, 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 and they all had to measure up, be perfect. And then I thought, what if you do something which isn't perfect?
Yeah, it gets so, like, obsessive, doesn't it, if you're doing it so perfect? Especially if you've got something like a triptych that you want to keep together, and then you're like, it can just be more hassle than it's worth sometimes in the displaying part of it.
And then what happened after the show we did at the fishing quarter, I did a show at the gallery in the phone box, which is at
the Dog and Bone.
Dog and Bone Gallery,
which
is brilliant. It's 2 phone boxes. And then what we did for that show, because obviously you're using the space within the phone box, so I had some dangling on fishing wire. So I tried to create a 3D version of that.
Good idea.
So there was like paintings on the floor. There was like a rug, and it was but it was all the madness was contained inside a
painting explosion
in a phone box. So the show was called Fun Box.
Oh right, yeah.
So and it was good fun doing it, and basically the phone boxes were locked at the end, so you put everything in it, set it all up, locked it, and I went on for about a month or 6 weeks. It's a good place to show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So Dog and Bone Gallery, it's on Instagram, and they're based in Paris Square, up near Seven Dials. So it's,
not far from here anyway. It's near Hove anyway.
And they've got a timer set inside, so the lights come on. I think they're
cool
at a certain time. So the show I did started in February, so it was getting dark early anyway. But it was illuminated as well.
And it's not one of those ghastly 80s gross looking ones. It's the old traditional ones. It's actually really lovely.
Phone box.
A bit of character to it.
Yeah. So it was good fun to show it in there. So, and they're still going. There's still shows and stuff doing it. Yeah. And I just put a proposal in, and Annalise, who runs the space, she's like, yeah, go do what you want to do.
Nice.
So yeah.
So if for any artists, young artists, starting out today, if there was anything like, I kind of like to end it all on like inspirational, really, and kind of making, if there's an artist out there or somebody who is just struggling with it all, on the brink of giving up, what kind of word of advice you would give to them? Or
where to go? I would. This is what I've always done: is get somewhere to work, even if it's just a sketchbook or a notebook. Just do what you want to make. Make what you want to make. Don't follow trends, because trends come and go. Play, experiment, go and see exhibitions, Go and meet other artists. Go and see stuff. That's the hardest thing.
Inspired,
Go
yeah.
and see stuff. When I was in art school, this is pre-internet. I was 97 to 2000 when I went to Southampton. I was always told, go and see the stuff. And I think now everything's on Instagram. You don't even need to go and see it, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't have the same effect. Like
No.
I remember seeing, there's that, I see it in a book when I was at college. And I remember seeing the Dali painting where it was like Jesus on the cross above the world.
I remember that one.
And it's a massive painting, and I remember walking in the room, and it was just massively intimidating.
Yeah.
Just so, the wall behind it, I think, was red as well, like a deep,
Okay.
red wine
Yeah.
kind of colour. That was in London, and it just kind of freaked me out. I was like,
Have you
I just
seen
need to go into the next room, I think.
Have you seen some of his other paintings? The ones you think are really big are really small. Right.
Oh, I like the ones with the ants, with the rocks.
Yeah,
I remember seeing
There's-
that one.
there's one I've seen it I went to Museum of Modern Art in New York, and they've got a nice collection of surrealist paintings there. This really small, some of them are, but he had like very good brushes. He's brilliant. But I would say go and see the art, talk to people, get involved in other exhibitions, try things out, and you'll find your way. But sometimes it's good to be lost.
Probably create your better stuff, and when you're
If you
You're
know,
just
if you know what
happy
you're,
making
if you know what
mistakes.
you're doing all the time, it kind of gets. If it gets boring, then change it and do something different. If you know what you're doing all the time, I like to be challenged. So I like to bring something new to the table. Also, like open submission shows. Like I remember doing a whole series of postcard pieces. I did a lot of mail art years ago. I'd do things on postcards and send them off, like to Malaysia, Alaska, places in America. There's
that's a good idea.
did loads of stuff that went out into the world. So keep the options open, try new things, talk to people. But yeah, do what you want to do. Don't let people distract you and tell you, don't do that, don't do this. I've had that in the past where people say, oh, don't make that or don't do that. And because then it becomes their idea, not your ideas. So stick to your guns.
No, that's really good.
That's it.
Any final thing to say? Like this is
You can check out my artwork on my website at www.barriejdavies.info, and I'm on all social media at Barrie J Davies. And thanks, Beav.
no, that's cool. Thank you for coming on.
That's all right.
All the information will be in the footnotes. But thank you for listening. Bye for now, peeps.
Bye.